Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to SideQuest Sessions. I am your host, Aaron, aka Keyblade Shinobi, and we are going to be talking about briefly the ending of Smackdown this past Friday, Monday Night Raw, which just happened yesterday, AEW Full Gear, and My Hero Academia, and then a couple other things here and there. Starting off with SmackDown, more so the ending of SmackDown and a little bit of the women's war game setup that they did. I like I said in the previous episode, I had a feeling that AJ was going to join the women's war games team. The setup was there, especially with her costing Becky the IC title, and then the backstage interaction with her and Rhea. So I knew that was going to happen, and it was good. I like that she's joining this War Games match. I can't wait to see what she does in the match itself because um, it's her first War Games match, and women's wrestling in WWE has gotten uh, way way better since she's been there. Not to say that it wasn't good in her time too, because it was. She was one of my favorites back during the divas era when they were like doing that transition from calling them divas to just superstars. So can't wait to see how that goes. The heels completely laid out the baby faces, which gotta do something. And then the men's war games, how they interfered in the Time Is Now tournament with Mello versus Bronson, and it just broke down into chaos. Mello ended up winning by countout, and the rest of them just brawled around ringside. Drew McIntyre took out Cody in the beginning of the show, I believe. Can't fully remember, to be honest. I think Cody came back, and he got a very good, short, sweet promo, to be honest. I really liked it, and I don't usually like anything that Cody does. Not anything against Cody himself. It's just his character. I just can't rock with his character, unfortunately. And then we're gonna let's jump to Monday Night Raw before we get into Full Gear. I'm not even gonna do the whole Full Gear. I just want to touch on a couple matches that I liked. So Monday Night Raw just happened, and it was a solid go home show for Survivor Series. Started out with Roman coming out. He did his whole acknowledge me bit, and then before you could say anything else, Cody came out. I was just like, "Come on, bro! You could have gave him some more time to talk." But Cody came out and did his whole "What do you want to talk about?" thing, and basically asked Roman what's in it for him. Like, why is he joining this War Games team? And like I said last week, I had a feeling that they were going to use the reasoning that for Roman joining the War Games team was for the Usos, for his family. And sure enough, that's what he said. He said it was going to be for his family. He's like, you should know as well, better than anybody that I will do anything for my family. It was like, in half of this team, last time I checked, is his family. So that's his sole motivation purpose for joining the War Games team. Now, they did do an interesting little wrinkle. The CM Punk came out, and CM Punk is doing what CM Punk does. And Roman started to leave the ring after he, basically again reinforced that I don't like either of y'all, but I hate Heyman and the Vision more than I hate y'all. So again, motivation for War Games and him joining. He, as right before he left the ring, He was like, that title will look better on my shoulder. And he walked out the ring. And Punk is like, who are you talking to, him or me? And Roman says to the camera, that's for y'all to find out. So they couldn't hear him. So that added a nice little wrinkle to the War Games match and add a little bit of drama for the baby faces. We had more of the Last Time Is Now tournament. Gunther versus Mello was a pretty solid match. I was hoping Mello would win, but of course Gunther won. I'm be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of Gunther. I don't know. He's a good wrestler. His character just doesn't click with me. And that's just me. It might click with other people, but just not me. And Mello has been getting the short end of the stick since he got drafted to SmackDown. Him being the first overall draft pick last year and then them not doing anything to make it feel like he should have been the overall draft pick is absolutely insane. Then the other match for the tournament was Solo Sikoa versus Penta. And unfortunately, that match ended early due to Penta injuring his shoulder, I believe. Yeah, the match got stopped via the doctor. So Solo advances. That's two people that have been injured that are supposed to be in this tournament. Sheamus and Penta. And now they have to find a replacement for Sheamus also. So we don't know who LA Knight is going to be facing in his matchup. Then we got Dom coming out to cut a promo on Cena, and then Cena's music played, and everybody thought that, Cena was coming out, but really it was a little person dressed up as Cena. And even then, cut a Cena like promo, and Dom was like, "Hey, what you doing? You're not supposed to." No, everything broke down. He ended up giving him the 619 and a frog splash, and then Ray came out to make the save, and that immediately transitioned into Ray versus JD McDonough, which was a good match. Ray ended up getting the win. Then we got then we got a promo from the women's War Games teams. Becky coming out saying that this is her team and she's assembled this team and put this team together, and was basically handing out backhanded compliments to every single person on her team except for Last Legend. Then the baby faces came out, all individual interests, of course. Still waiting for Charlotte and Alexa to have like a single cohesive entrance. That would be great. But they all came down to the ring. AJ cut her promo on Becky, saying that Becky lit a fire in her and that the rest of the women on her team poured gasoline on that fire. So now she's just raring to go. And Becky made a mistake by wanting to lock herself in a cage with AJ, because now she's going to let the old AJ out, and that AJ is going to do whatever she wants to Becky. And I can't wait to see it. And then she passed the mic to Rhea. And then Rhea just took the mic, bashed Nia in the head with it, and they started brawling. Babyfaces stood tall. I'm not sure if they're going to do a War Games advantage match for the women. Usos versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. That ended up breaking down after a little while. Usos were getting the upper hand. Logan Paul got knocked to the outside, and then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed showed up. Then CM Punk and Cody came out, and everyone started brawling around ringside. Jey Uso dived to the outside to take everybody out. Logan Paul snuck back in the ring and got Jimmy with a roll-up pin. Then everybody started brawling. Roman came out. Babyfaces had the upper hand. And then Brock came out, and they all started brawling, but then they just cut it off. Like, y'all are on Netflix. I'm pretty sure y'all don't have time constraints, really. Y'all could have kept that brawl going for a little bit. But hey, pretty sure the live crowd got it, and we'll see clips of it from WWE at some point in time throughout the week. Overall, that was a solid episode of Monday Night Raw. I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the War Games matches. Not so much anything else that's going on the show. John Cena versus Dom for Survivor Series. I do expect Dom to win that match. Only because of the last time is now tournament. I don't see them. I mean, they could, but I just don't see it happen. I don't see them doing Cena's final match as a title defense also. But of course, if this tournament is all about essentially passing the torch, then I guess they could crown a new IC champ for the finals of this tournament. But I don't see them doing that. So I'm expecting the title for Dom to win. Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Vaquer. I don't too much care for that match, only because one, I don't believe Nikki is going to win. I don't believe Nikki is going to win at all. And two, I expected the Nikki heel turn already. Nikki's always worked better as a heel. She never worked really as a babyface. So I expected her heel turn, and it was decent. It wasn't the greatest heel turn, but it was decent. Her heel turn on Brie years ago, that was so much better. I love that one. Because that one was just unexpected. But yeah, this wasn't the greatest heel turn. It was effective, it just wasn't the greatest heel turn. So that match I'm not truly looking forward to. I think those are the only two singles matches on the card. I could be wrong though. Could be wrong. Now, jumping into AEW Full Gear. That was a long ass pay-per-view. Oh my god. I'm not even gonna go over the whole thing. I'm just gonna go over the bits that I enjoyed, which was the Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly match. That was great. That was absolutely great. And in true Jon Moxley match fashion, fork came out and was stabbing each other in the fucking skull with the fork, and blood was everywhere. Mox ended up tapping out again, but also attacked Kyle O'Reilly after the match. Commentary played it up like he was upset that he lost, but I don't think that's the case. Because he gave Kyle O'Reilly a nod of approval as he was leaving the ring. I think what made him attack Kyle O'Reilly character-wise is that he was more so upset that not that Kyle beat him, but that Kyle beat him, but then was unable to leave the ring under his own power. Not Mox, Kyle. Kyle was unable to leave the ring under his own power. He was being like checked on by doctors and everything else. And I don't think that sat right with Mox. Because Mox is like one of the toughest people here. And you made me tap twice within a 10-day span. And you're telling me you need doctors? I don't like that. So, gave him a little bit of a beatdown. Ricochet is the new national champion. I do like Ricochet's heel character work. I feel like he's thriving in AEW versus in WWE, and that's not a bad thing. Some people get into the whole promotion wars of wrestling, and I don't. I watch both shows. I enjoy both shows for different reasons, but yeah. Ricochet is the new national champion. Mark Briscoe is the new TNT champion. I did not think Kyle Fletcher was going to lose that match. I did not think he was going to lose that match, but he did. He had a good run as TNT champion. I don't think that will be the end of it. I think he'll go after Mark Briscoe again, maybe, but I don't think he'll win the title back anytime soon. Turmoil within the Don Callis family. Kazuchi Okada and Kinosuke Takeshita still can't get on the same page. I'm pretty sure that's going to have a big falling out. And they also just released the brackets for the Continental Classic. And if my booking brain is right, I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to go. Okada's in it, obviously, because he's the current champion. And then they put Takeshita in it also. And with their brewing and constant attacking of each other accidentally, I'm pretty sure that that's where the finals are going to be. It's going to be the two of them, and I'm pretty sure Takeshita's going to take it all. So that's going to be my pick. That's going to be my pick to win the whole thing. It's going to be Takeshita. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all can call me out on it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Takeshita. What else? Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa won the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, so now they can pick the stipulation for their final semifinal match against Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne. For that whole women's tag tournament, I am fairly surprised that Anna Jay and Ty Mello got beat in the first round or second round. Considering that they were the only established women's tag team there. The rest of them just came together for the sake of the tournament, which is why I halfway expected Mercedes Moné and Athena to lose in that tournament. I wanted them to win, but I expected them to lose because they haven't tagged. They're great as individual champions, but together, it just didn't work, obviously. And speaking of Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander is still your women's world champion. I feel like that was a good choice. Although Mercedes is going around collecting belts like no other, and I'm so happy for her every time she gets a new belt. I don't think it's time to give her that AEW Women's World Championship just yet. I think we need a bigger build-up. Let her attain a few more belts from other promotions. Let Chris Statlander get a few more defenses under her belt. Then put them back against each other and let Mercedes win. And then when she wins, she'll be on top of the world. She is now the TBS champion. She'll be the AEW Women's World Champion. And then let it slowly crumble. She'll start losing all the titles that she has won, one by one after the other. And then, once that happens, and she's just left with the AEW Women's World Championship, let her keep that one. Let her have a lengthy run with it. That is the one that she will defend the most successfully every single time. And then, after that, once you feel like she had a good enough run with it, have her drop the title. What else happened that I really liked on Full Gear? Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe was a excellent match. I really loved that steel cage match. It was every bit of violent that I needed it to be, and then some. Samoa Joe ended up winning and becoming a 2-time AEW World Champion. Pretty sure it's 2-time AEW World Champion. Hook turned heel, reunited with the Ops, which I felt was going to happen, but wasn't entirely sure after he linked up with Eddie Kingston. Now if Eddie Kingston joined the Ops, now that'll really throw me for a loop. And then Swerve came at the end of the match to make the save on Adam Page. So now it's going to be the two of them going against the Ops in just about every configuration you can think of. Pretty sure they're going to need one or two more people. So, yeah, they're going to need two more people. But as far as Full Gear goes, that's really all I wanted to talk about. Those are the matches that I enjoyed the most, I should say. That's not to say that it was a bad show. It was a great show. It was a great show. Those are just the only ones that I was really invested in. AEW always puts on a banger of a pay-per-view. Love their pay-per-views every single time. They're just long as hell. Now jumping into some anime. Yo, have y'all been watching the final season of My Hero? Because that most recent episode was episode 8, I believe. Oh my god. Had tears in my eyes watching that. I'll be honest with you. That was such an emotional build-up. Everybody coming through to help my boy Deku get the dub on All for One. Come on. And then Shigaraki, him making sure Shigaraki survived long enough to help him deal a final blow to All for One. Come on, man. Shigaraki, like, hey, if you see Spinner after this, tell him that I destroyed until the very end. That man did not flip on his convictions whatsoever, even after the reveal that All for One basically manipulated everything in this man's life from even before he was born, which was a insane reveal. All for One's like, yeah, bro, your whole existence is because of me. I did this. You are the way you are because of me. It's like, yeah, I put the thought in your dad's brain to have another kid. And then when he did, he had you. And you know what? You were born quirkless, my boy. He was like, but once you got to that age that you're supposed to have a quirk, I took one from somebody at an orphanage. He took Shigaraki's decay quirk from a kid at an orphanage, took it from them. And their quirk, the decay, was reversible, but he altered the quirk so that it wouldn't be reversible and that all it does is destroy things. And then put it in Shigaraki. And then we all know Shigaraki's story. He accidentally killed his dog. Sister got freaked out. His dad was beating on him first. And then, he was like trying to figure out why this is happening to him. Accidentally ended up killing his dog because his quirk activated finally. His sister freaked out, ended up killing her, and ended up killing the family, destroyed the house, all of that. And that's all because of All for One. All for One did all of that shit, manipulated everything. And then when he had no one, it's like, oh, hey, I'm this new guy. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna take care of you. I didn't. Oh man, he's a villain. He is a villain. And then the parallels from Deku's first smash to the first episode where he ran out to go help Bakugo and his mom running to the front of the monitor telling him he can do it, to everybody watching from around the world telling him he can do it. And you got them canonizing the movies because those characters popped in, was like, hey, you can do it. Oh my god, the build-up was so good. So good. Oh, it made me want to cry. I had tears in my eyes. Boy, oh boy. His arms was gone. Then Eri was like, hey, I broke off my horn. Give this to him. It'll reverse it for a few minutes. Give him his arms back, please. My Hero was so good. My Hero was such a good show. Yo, that episode has the highest rating in 2025 so far. and I don't mean for the show, I mean for all of anime in 2025, that episode has the highest rating of 2025 so far, which is insane and deserved because that episode was absolute peak and I loved every single second of it. Every single second of it. This whole final season has been absolutely amazing, from Bakugo coming back and then beating the ever loving shit out of All For One. Said, I'm the final boss. You gotta fuck with me now. And then absolutely just blasting him all over the goddamn map. And then before that, him just rising from the dead. And then him and Deku just locking in on what they need to do. No words being exchanged. Just take off immediately. Mm-mm-mm. And then the whole struggle, him using Black Whip to make his own body move and to reinforce his muscles from the inside. Oh, Deku was an analytical ass character, and he knew, like, he studied quirks. He knew how these quirks worked inside and out, and he made use of every single one of them in the most effective way possible. Even his enemies' quirks he understood, and then used what he understood about their quirks against them, which was, he was such a good main character. Such a good main character. I don't know how many more episodes we have for this final season. I know the next episode is going to be about the Todoroki family. And then I don't know if we're getting another episode after that. I hope we do, because I need like more tie-ups. So I'm hoping for like 2 or 3 more episodes after the Todoroki family episode. But my hero, man. My hero. Things that are going on with me. I'm trying to lock down a streaming schedule. Because I do not stream consistently enough, in my opinion. So I'm trying to lock down a streaming schedule. If my work schedule stays the way that it is, then I may be able to log in a streaming schedule. Because this week I am off today, which is Tuesday. Then I am off Wednesday and Thursday. And then I work all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then Sunday night. So I'll probably be on stream today. I'll be on stream Wednesday. And then I'll be on stream Thursday towards the back half of the day. We'll do Thanksgiving Day stream. Mainly towards the back half of the day, because I'm going to be cooking I'm not going to say for the first half, because it's really just me in here. So I'm just not even going to be making traditional Thanksgiving type food. I'm going to do some steaks. Not sure if I want to do mashed potatoes or roasted potatoes. I may go with roasted potatoes, because between you and me, I kind of suck at making mashed potatoes. I'm definitely gonna do mac and cheese. Some broccoli. I was looking for broccolini, but I can't find any, which is kind of upsetting me, not gonna lie. And that's probably it. Any other traditional Thanksgiving food, I can just go to family's house and grab it from there. But as far as what I'm going to make here, yeah, that's it. Because I don't want to do a turkey, because that's just going to go to waste. I don't want to do a ham, because that's going to go to waste. And like I said, I can just go to my family's houses and take it from there. It'll be a lot easier that way. What else? So I recently made a Threads account for my content creation. I already had a following on my personal Threads account from the wrestling community that I built up on there. But as life started doing what life does, and I started working more, I fell off of posting on that account. Because I used to post every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday whenever Smackdown, Dynamite, and Monday Night Raw was on. And I fell off because work started getting in the way, and then after work, I'm usually tired. And sometimes I'm at work while wrestling is on, so I can't post anyway. So I kind of fell off on there, but I do have a Threads account for my content creation, which is Keyblade Shinobi on Threads. That's my name everywhere. Keyblade Shinobi is on Threads, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. This episode will be on YouTube. Be a full episode, semi-edited, because I've been yawning a lot because it is 5:12 in the morning and I popped up at like 1, 2 in the morning after passing out. I had work Monday. I had work Monday morning, got home around like about 7-ish, and then cooked some food, watched a couple of my friends, watched one of my friends stream, and then I passed out while watching Monday Night Raw. When I woke up, I had to go finish the episode. Other than My Hero, I'm fully caught up on My Hero. I need to go catch up on Gachi Akuda, and I think that's it. I think that's all I've been watching, really. I'm pretty sure that's it. Just need to catch up on that, which once I do, I'll tell you guys about it. Oh yeah, it's now Tuesday. It's been a week. Have y'all watched Wicked for Good yet? I hope y'all have, because I'm ready to talk about it. I'm so ready to talk about it because what a movie. I love it so much. The story is so good. I really want to say, fuck that cowardly line. For real. Like, Bach having a reason to want to take down Elphaba is one thing because she turned him into 10. But to be fair, she also saved his life. You got turned into 10 because Nessa essentially shrank your heart to almost nothing. So her turning you to a 10-man saved your ass. But you mad because you a 10-man. And first of all, you have been playing with Nessa Rose's heart for 5 years. 5 years you've been playing with her heart. And you mad? You mad. She is also wrong, but like you played with that girl heart for 5 years. You could have told her that you did not have feelings for her like that. You could have told her, but you didn't. And that's your fucking fault. Reap what you sow, bitch nigga. I'm sorry. I was a little aggressive. Fuck that cowardly lion. Because if y'all saw the first Wicked, the cowardly lion is the cub that she saved that was in the cage when they dragged Dr. Dillerman out of the classroom. And he like, oh, because she took me out of the cage, the only home that I know, he was like, I grew up being afraid of everything and blah, blah. Nick, she set you out into the wild. How did you grow up to be afraid of everything in the wild? Because if you were to be born in the wild, because you were still a cub, if you were to be born in the wild and you were to be a cub in the wild, you would learn to survive in said wild, in which you did learn to survive in said wild because you were a fully grown lion. You didn't die. How you mad at her because she set you free from a cage, my boy? Please, no. And then you notice during the movie they didn't give the Scarecrow anything to say about wanting to take her down, because the Scarecrow is Fiero, in case you didn't know. And No Good Deed, she sang her ass off in No Good Deed. The story implications behind the song, the way the song is delivered, the visuals for it, oh my god, it was so heartbreaking and so good. People were saying that the song For Good At the end of the movie, the duet between Elphaba and Glinda was good, but No Good Deed is the best one on that soundtrack and in the movie. I promise you that. And No Good Deed, don't get me wrong, also good. Also good. I love it. It was definitely emotional. But No Good Deed is just, and then her not really dying, uh faking her own death so that she can go live her life with Fierro, who she turned into a scarecrow in order to save his life because dude was being beat to death in a freaking hayfield. Which I thought was absolutely fucked up because like even Glenda was like, "Hey, chill out. He wasn't gonna do anything," but they were beating that man to death in that hayfield, and that was the only thing that Elphaba could do in order to um in order to save him. And even then, she warned Nessa Rose back when Nessa Rose started shrinking, Box Heart, that any spells read and cast from the Grimory could not be reversed. They are permanent. Which means Fierro will live the rest of his life as a scarecrow. Bach will live the rest of his life as a Tin Man. And I don't feel bad for Bach at all. Fierro, I do feel bad for you. And then at the end of the movie, Glinda finally accepting her role as Glinda the Good and not playing a part of a larger scheme, basically. Her finally accepting and embracing that she is Glinda the Good, and the Grimory finally opening up for her was such good notes. I'm hearing that the writers of the movie and the studio behind the movie want to make another Wicked movie, but not about Elphaba and Glinda, but about Oz in general. And nah, no. I think we're good. I think we're good. The Elphaba and Glinda story was as peak as it gets. I don't think we need anything else uh for that. At least in my opinion, I don't think we need anything other than that. Are there any other movies that are out? Not not currently. Um Now movies next year. Movies next year. I'm ready for all these movies next year. You got the Odyssey coming out, starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Robert Pattinson. And the reason I'm excited about the Odyssey movie is because of Epic the Musical, which I told y'all about last week. Epic the Musical, I love that musical so much. So good. Love it, love it, love it. And I never read the Odyssey. Believe it or not, when I was in school, never read the Odyssey. So being introduced to the Odyssey by way of Epic the Musical was so good for me. So I'm excited for the movie. See a more dramatic take on the story. And Matt Damon is playing Odysseus. Anne Hathaway is also in it. She'll be playing Penelope. Tom Holland will be playing Telemachus. Zendaya playing Athena. And Robert Pattinson will be playing Antinous. I can't wait to see how he does with Antinous. And then Tom Holland as Telemachus, I feel like is a pretty good casting. I think he'll be able to play I'm not gonna say timid because I don't like, keep in mind my only impression of any characters from the Odyssey is Epic the Musical, and the way Telemachus is that he is essentially, he may be 20 years old, but he still has the mindset of a boy because his father has been away all his life. Because the day Telemachus was born was the same day that Odysseus left to go fight in the Trojan War. So Telemachus has had no father figure in his life. He just, grew up. So he still has the mindset of a boy. And I think Tom Holland can pull that off. but also make it a lot more dramatic. So I'm really excited for that movie. And then sticking with Tom Holland and Zendaya, you got Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out next year, which I am super excited for. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's one of my favorite Marvel heroes. So there's been a lot of rumors and speculation about who's in this movie, the villains and everything else. And don't get me wrong, I do be reading this stuff. I do be watching this stuff. But it will never ruin the surprise for me once I go to the theater and see it. His new suit looks absolutely amazing. I love the way his new suit looks. And it, from the set photos that I've seen, looks like they're doing practical stunts and practical web swinging, which is even better. I love it. Then after that, we got Avengers Doomsday. And I am looking forward to that so much. I've been needing another Avengers movie because the last Avengers movie that we got was what, Endgame? Yeah, it was Endgame. So I'm ready for another Avengers movie. The MCU has had its ups and downs as far as public opinion is concerned. I haven't come across one MCU project that I genuinely disliked. There are some that to me don't really have that much rewatch value, such as the Ant-Man movies. I really cared for Ant-Man, but those movies were solid in my opinion. What else? Black Widow, that didn't really have rewatch value for me. Some of their shows don't really have rewatch value for me. Loki, I'll rewatch Loki at any given time. Um, Thor: Love and Thunder, only watched that once. Um, WandaVision, I think I watched that like twice, maybe. The Marvels, all right. So the Marvels, I actually really liked the Marvels, and I watched it more than once. So many people hate that movie, and I'm not sure why. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. Miss Marvel, I only watched that show once. Um, Only gripe that I had about that show was that they gave her light-based powers instead of her actual mutant powers. But I understand why they did it because they didn't technically have mutants in the MCU at that point in time. So I definitely understand. But that's the only gripe that I had about it. Yeah, this not too much not too much really going on in life at the moment. We're gonna keep doing weekly episodes. We're gonna keep talking about different things every week. I'm also going to be taking questions and topics you guys want me to talk about each week. You guys just have to send them to me, drop comments, let me know about topics, and I'll talk about them. I think one of my friends, he said to talk about my top 5 favorite movies and why I like them, which is going to take some thinking, and I'll probably do that in the next episode. Someone else told me to talk about a good book. I like books. I don't read too often, but I do like books. I have a whole stack of books over there. So I'll look through those, see which one that I think you guys would like. And then I'll suggest it. If you guys read it, cool. If not, also cool, you know? But yeah, drop topics, drop questions that you guys want me to talk about. Anything and everything. I am willing to yap for you guys. But that will wrap up this episode. Wrestling heavy, very wrestling heavy. So much happened in the past week. And like I said, my hero was so good this season. So good. But yeah, this has been SideQuest Sessions. Tune in next week for another episode. I appreciate everybody for listening. Oh, I appreciate it for those who listened to the first episode and left me a 5-star review. Highly appreciate that. Um, these will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the video will be on YouTube at Keyblade Shinobi. YouTube will be the home for all of the podcasts as far as video goes. So those will be the home for all of the podcasts going forward. This is going to be the setup that you guys will see for every podcast going forward until I get more dedicated space for streaming. Thinking about using the attic, but I'm not sure how well that'll go. But for now, this is what we have. Yeah, we're just gonna take it week by week and see what we can do. We're gonna be upgrading the setup as we go along too. Like I said, you guys can catch me on Twitch, Keyblade Shinobi. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, all at Keyblade Shinobi. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.